so let's get ready for the second half of chat number 290. And this chat is about simplifying your meals. Again, doesn't have to be about meal prep, even though I named it that. But it's just about simplifying your meals. And several of us have things, whether we know it or not, you might not even know it's coming. We have things going on this week that just are going to make it a challenge. So I know we've got a lot going on this week. I'm missing a scheduler, and Kendall, who is pretty much my right-hand girl here physically at KC Kitchen Center right now, she had an unexpected sudden death in her family yesterday, and she's going to be out for an undetermined amount of time. So this week, it's going to be another challenge. It's never not busy here. We never have a day where we just go, oh, we just lazed about and did nothing today. I mean, that just doesn't happen. But this week is going to be an especially busy one. But because I'm well, because we're all well, because we feel good, because we feel like doing something, not going to lie, the week that we were all sick, Casey and I had Cheetos for dinner. Cheez-Its for dinner like 3 nights that week. Because we just didn't feel like anything else. Okay, so this week we're going to talk about, for the extra credit for the second half of chat number 290, and remember, you can go back and watch these on YouTube. It's just youtube.com, search If You Have an Egg. This will be posted later on IfYouHaveAnEgg.com. That is all free to go watch, look at, download. You can download the notes. They're printable, so you can do that. When we do share recipes, you can print the recipes for free. But tonight we're going to be talking about, we just finished a whole month of talking about bulking it up. So the entire month of part of August and most of September, because we missed a little bit being sick, that was all about bulking it up. So we talked about ways to bulk up your meals. Well, tonight, we are getting into, this is just water, but does it not just make you just want to put on a sweater and snuggle up next to a fire? Just a giant mug, maybe with some tea or some cocoa or something like that. But this month we're going to be talking about hunkering down, and we're getting close to these hunker down, colder months, and it's a great time to clean out your freezer and your pantry. So I have a renewed vigor this month, and especially since we're all feeling good again, I have a renewed vigor on, cleaning things out and trying to get to zero food waste. So I will say, I'm going to keep calling it zero food waste, even though every week there's something that I end up having to put in the compost or feed it to Dusty, or something else, but I'm still striving for zero food waste. So this month we're going to be talking about, oh no, Phyllis says no sweaters there because it's still running in the 80s. I am so sorry. You need to come and visit us because it was gloriously fall gorgeous today. But so this whole month we're going to be talking about hashtag zero food waste. Tonight we're specifically going to be talking about potatoes. I was gifted, like, I didn't weigh them, I should have. I was gifted probably 8 pounds, maybe 7-8 pounds of potatoes. Some were Yukon Gold, and the rest of them were really kind of big for red potatoes, for red skin new potatoes. They were kind of big, so those were gifted to me. Well, I don't know about you, but when I make potatoes, I try to make them ahead. I can't stand to let them sit around and grow eyes on them and go bad. And even though we do the compost here in downtown Knoxville, still can't stand to let them to watch them go. So we're going to be talking about ways to use up leftover potatoes. So if you're like me and you go ahead and cook a bunch of them when you're cooking them, or if you bake a bunch when you're baking them, Gwen actually brought this up last Tuesday, and I thought, I have all those potatoes that were gifted to me. I'm getting ready to show you probably a fourth of the potatoes that I was given. So look how big this bowl is. That's a fourth of the potatoes that I was given. And even though they were given to me, I still don't want to waste them. So I'm going to show you some things that you can do with leftover potatoes. And they don't have to be leftover. I mean, like, these weren't leftover. They were just gifted to me. But I'm going to show you, Debbie says put them in the super cubes as mashed potatoes. That's actually, didn't think of super cubes, but that's one of the ideas. So this is about a fourth of the potatoes. One of the things that you can do, and this is what Gwen did, she had made extra baked potatoes last week. So this is what she did, and then we're going to get this started, and then we're going to talk about a couple of other things. So I already have my potatoes that have been cooked. So these were just cubed. I cubed them, and they're, you know, all of them are roughly, what is that, about 1.5 inches to 1 inch. Spritzed them with a little bit of olive oil, and then I put them in, and you can season them if you want to, but I put them in the air fryer, and I cooked them on 390 for 20 minutes. So cube the potatoes. It doesn't matter if they are Yukon Gold, russet potatoes. Oh, and Sylvia just got some super cubes. Yay. Doesn't matter if they're Yukon Gold, they're russet potatoes, if they're new potatoes, if they're those little, the ones that are different color, like fingerlings and things like that. Cube them into about 1 inch to 1.5 inch pieces. Spritz them with a little oil, your favorite kind of oil. I use olive oil a lot. And put them in your air fryer. And in the air fryer, it was 390 degrees for 20 minutes. So you can do them on a sheet pan if you want to do them in the oven. You can bake them in the oven. You can microwave them if you want to. Hello, Julie. Good to see you. So this is about 1/3 of the potatoes that I was gifted. Again, cubed, air fryer, 390 degrees for 20 minutes. I'm going to add to that a turkey kielbasa. So I'm not going to use all the potatoes. I'm going to put a little bit of, and it's just a plain old turkey kielbasa. I'm going to add some Dax Red Mountain Rub, because that is, and again, you can season them however you want to. That is fantastic on the sauce. That's fantastic on sausagey flavored things. And I'm also going to throw in just some little sweet peppers. I don't know about you, but the little sweet peppers like this, I don't cut them up. I don't take the seeds out. I like them just like they are. If you don't like them just like they are, you can certainly, cut them up, do different things with them, however you want to prep them. So I'm going to put the turkey kielbasa in the air fryer. I have washed some little sweet peppers, and I'm just going to throw them in there whole. And then we are going to talk about some other ways to use up leftover potatoes while we are letting this cook. And I'm going to put this in for 360 for 15 minutes. And on your Simple Living Products air fryer, you just remember, scoop, don't shove it in. Push the middle button. It automatically comes up to 360 for 15. So push that start button. I find myself using that for a lot of things. Just because it's easy and it works for a lot of things. Okay, so I already saw one of the ideas that we were going to talk about has already come flying by, but I swear it has to be at least 7 or 8 pounds of potatoes that I was given, because this is a glass dish, so it's pretty heavy, but 1/3 of those, that's going to be at least 3 pounds of potatoes, even cooked. So if you're making them ahead, if you've got some left over, you can use leftovers. You can use, like if someone had gifted it to you, if you just like to make extras so that you've got some extras. One of the things that I love to do with leftover potatoes, or when you've cooked extra, and remember, we're talking about zero food waste. So we're trying to think of ways, okay, how can we use this up? How can we use up these potatoes? And specifically tonight, we're talking about potatoes. The rest of the month, we will be talking about some other things that, that you can use, and other ways to try to get yourself closer to a zero food waste. Because again, we're getting to these hunker down, colder weather months. One thing that I love to do with leftover potatoes is make scrambled eggs, and we're not going to make scrambled eggs tonight. But how many times have you gone somewhere like Denny's or Cracker Barrel or somewhere like that, and you paid a whole lot of money for a scrambled egg, a fried egg, whatever your favorite way is to make eggs. And actually just let me know, what is your favorite way to make eggs? Maybe it's to hard boil them, soft boil them, medium boil them. Oh my gosh, I have to, hold on. We got time. I'm going to show you all something real quick. Yep, Debbie says a scrambled egg or a scrambled potato bake, but you pay a whole lot of money for some form of eggs and some hash brown potatoes that I inevitably end up putting ketchup on. Hello? Here they are. You could add some onions to it if you wanted to. Yeah, so Debbie's the scrambled bake. Lynn loves them scrambled. Oh yeah, Patty says scrambled for sure. For sure. Let me see. Here's the thing I was going to show you. So y'all know, This is called If You Have an Egg. So you all know how much I love eggs anyway, but that's a great way to use those. Oh, and Carol Lou has potatoes with her breakfast almost every morning. It's her go-to. For breakfast, do you find yourself putting ketchup on them? I don't know why, but potatoes like this, when it's breakfast, I end up putting, I don't know why, but I end up putting ketchup on them. I don't know why. Does everybody do that? Vicki loves scrambled. Next week, not this week because I don't have time this week, but next week, speaking of eggs, and I'm just going to sidetrack for just a second, we're going to try this. My friend Becky got this for me. It is a camping beep egg. Has anybody ever seen one of these? So we're going to try this live next week. Her husband was like, oh yeah, Debbie and Vicki, ketchup always. Her husband was like, oh, don't you want to test that before you show it to everybody? And I was like, no, it wouldn't be alive with Kelly if we didn't just totally just do something, randomly and not try it before we do it. But this is a singing floating egg timer. Does anybody have one of these, and have you used one of these? But they got me one that's camping. It's the camping beep egg. You boil together until the tunes play. So you put this in with your eggs when you're boiling water, and y'all know how much trouble I have making a hard-boiled egg in water. I use the air fryer to make my hard-boiled eggs. But this is so funny. It plays 3 different melodies. America the Beautiful is a soft-boiled egg. Hit the Road Jack is a medium-boiled egg. And Don't Worry, Be Happy for hard-boiled eggs. So we will be trying that next week. We'll be trying the camping beep egg next week to see if that actually works. Okay, sorry, I just had to sidetrack when I said that about how to make eggs. Okay, so eggs and leftover potatoes. Perfect. That is a perfect way to use leftover potatoes. Potato salad. So potato salad, and I like potato salad with the skin still on there. I don't know about you all, but I do. That's the perfect way to make, this is like the cheater, easy way to make potato salad. It's already cubed. You can cube them smaller if you want to. They're already cooked. You don't have to cook any potatoes. They're already cooked. And you could just mix it together with some light mayonnaise, a little bit of Greek yogurt, non-fat plain Greek yogurt, whatever you like to season your potato salad with. Throw a little bit of cooked bacon in there, and it would be good to go. I mean, how fantastic would that be, and how stinking easy would that be, because all of the prep work is already done. And Debbie mentioned mashed potatoes. Mashed potatoes, that was on my list. You could literally, I mean, this is a mixing bowl. I could literally take this bowl. If I didn't have other plans for this, I could literally take this bowl and I could just put a little bit of, I like to use fat-free half and half if I'm making mashed potatoes from scratch. You could heat it back up, use some fat-free half and half, whatever your dairy choice is for that. You can do a little bit of cheese, melt some cheese in there. You can make like a loaded baked potato, mashed potatoes. Again, they're already cooked. So if you go ahead and cook some extra, or if you have some left over, they're already cooked. So you're not, and I like mine with the skin on. You can peel them if you want to. And a russet potato, I would probably peel, but these little red potatoes and the Yukon Golds, I just leave the peel on there. But how easy would that be? It's already cooked. They're already cubed, already cooked, ready to go. You just got to heat them back up. Put your form of dairy, some cheese, whatever you put in your mashed potatoes, and they would already be ready to go. So stinking easy. A great and delicious way to use up either some leftover mashed potatoes or leftover potatoes, or if you want to just make some extra so that you can plan to do that. Debbie mentioned the super cubes. I do not have any pulled out here with me. Oh, wait, hold on a second. Debbie says do like a KFC bowl, but do cubed potatoes with chicken and corn and gravy. What? Yeah. Oh, yeah, girl, that sounds fantastic. Okay, I've still got 2 more thirds of that, of what I was given over here, so maybe I'll be doing that later this week. And these cook by themselves, by the way. Don't know if you were listening or not, but in an air fryer, like I put this I put this batch in the air fryer, set it, walked off, went and did some work, came back in 20 minutes, well, came back in like 10 minutes, shook them a little bit, walked off, did some more work, came back when it started beeping, done. So how much easier would that be? We were talking in the first part of the chat about taking control of a meal. How much easier would that be to take control of a meal if you already had something like this ready? You can freeze these. You can, oh, Trish is home. Yay, Trish. And Trish has been on the chat the whole time, and she's been delivering kids, leaving a play, I think, and already driven home. But you could freeze these like this, but if you'd make them in the mashed potatoes, you could go ahead and pre-portion out the mashed potatoes in the super cubes. Go ahead and put those in there, freeze them, and then you put the frozen mashed potatoes in, like I put them in a bigger zipper bag and just mark on there what it is so I know. And then, yeah, you can pull them out as you need them. And hold on a second. Yoli says, I make potato soup and, freeze them in red Solo cups? Well, that's a good idea. And then pulls them out as she needs them. So let's talk about potato soup for just a second. Like 8 of you have already said potato soup. Leftover potatoes are a great way to make potato soup. I personally love cheater potato soup. I don't think I'm going to start coughing, but let's take a precautionary drink of water just in case. So I love a good cheater soup, and I want to mention, in case you all haven't noticed, and I know I'm sidetracking again, but I want to mention that Aldi has their, and I'm not going to pronounce it correctly, Deutsch Küche, I don't know how to say it. Soups are back out. They were fully stocked at our Aldi today, or the Aldi that I go to today, and they have a German bean soup. The German bean soup, hello Barbara, the German bean soup is delicious on its own, and these are all German soups, but this is delicious on its own. This is also really good if you add, like if you had leftover beans from something else, you could add them to this. You can add leftover corn to this. Peas are really good. But that one's a good one to add to. They also have a hearty pea soup. The hearty pea, turn it this way. The hearty pea soup has, it's thick and creamy, accented with savory flavors of peas, carrots, and leeks. And if peas are a 0 point food for you, if legumes are a 0 point food for you, then these are going to be lower in points. And I'm just going to say again, they are so delicious. And also, like a serving of this has 10 grams, a serving of the hearty pea soup has 10 grams of protein. It also has, let me find it here, 9 grams of fiber. So 9 grams of fiber per serving, and there are 3 servings in this. This is about approximately 3 cups of soup, and so is the German bean soup. But that's a great amount of fiber. So if you want to go back and watch one of our chats about fiber, these are a great idea for fiber. Okay, before we talk about the potato soup though, let me just check this, because these have been cooking for about 10 minutes now. Looking good. That is looking fantastic. And guess what I'll be eating for supper tonight? And actually, you know what? Since we've only got about 5 minutes left, I'm going to put some of the potatoes back in there. Oh, it smells so good. And if you haven't had these little sweet, the little sweet peppers that I threw in here, they are so good. Okay, let's put a few of the potatoes back in here and let them reheat back up with it. You notice I didn't cook them all at the same time because the potatoes have they've already been cooked. So they were cooked earlier. I'm just going to add them back in so that they can be, heated up with it. Okay, so let's talk about potato soup. So a lot of you all make homemade potato soup, and I've already seen some things scroll by. Let me see if I can find any of them real quick. Okay, Mary bought the sweet potato soup at Aldi this week. So sweet potato soup. Hello, Nancy. It's good to see you. So the sweet potato soup, is that in the refrigerated section, or is that in a can? Because I did not see that. And let's see who else talked about soup. Okay, so Vicky uses potatoes to make hamburger vegetable soup, and she's gaining extra points for the veggies. So okay, Vicky, spill. How do you make that? How do you make that? Vicky uses her crock pot and makes potato soup. Do you make your own from scratch? Yoli makes a potato soup. Oh yeah, we already talked about that, and puts them in the red Solo cups to be individual servings. And Mary says in the in the can. Oh, can. Oh, so okay, so it's in a can. So I did not see the sweet potato soup. Now I'm gonna have to go back and look for that. Okay, and Vicki does make hers from scratch. So I like a good cheater soup, even though we just had Soup-Timber with Joan and we're getting ready to have Croctober with Joan. I love a good cheater soup. So if I'm gonna have potato soup here at work, or if I'm gonna have it at home at night, potato soup is not one of those things that I normally make from scratch. I have a lot of other soups that I make from scratch. They normally involve some kind of beans or pasta or something like that. But potato soup, this one is so yummy. Again, this is the Deutsch Kuch, I don't know how to pronounce it, harvest potato soup, and this is from Aldi, and they had just restocked all of them, like, you know, over the weekend, because there was a huge amount of them today. And this one it's a thick and creamy soup accented with subtle flavors of potatoes, carrots, and leeks. And I don't know if you noticed, but I think 2 or 3 of them had leeks in them. This one is not so much protein because it's mostly potatoes, but it's 3 grams of protein, 2 grams of fiber. So the pea soup and the bean soup have tons of fiber and tons of protein in them. So if you're looking for a way to get in some extra protein, one of those would be a great one. But this harvest potato soup is delicious on its own. But I will take this. I'm going to take this later in the week here at KC Kitchen Center, and this can do this. Okay, and Dusty's like not crying in his sleep. He's like snoring in his sleep. So if you can hear that, so sorry. But I'll be taking this later here at KC Kitchen Center. Again, don't know how long Kindle's going to be out. We're going to be down a couple of people this week. It is fall break. It's going to be just super busy. It's going to be a super busy week. But this, I can put it in either the slow cooker that we have here at KC Kitchen Center, or I can do, and yeah, that would be good. Debbie just said you could add some turkey kielbasa in that soup. Me personally, I like to add bacon. So I have, oh, it's okay, Mary. So I have bacon that I've already made that's in the refrigerator here at KC Kitchen Center. So I'll be taking this, adding some of the potatoes. I'll just dice them up a little bit smaller, put some of those in there, and then in keeping with this zero waste, you know, mentality thought, I'll also be adding some of the corn that Casey and I had left in the freezer. Remember this summer when Casey, John, and I blanched all this corn and put it in bags and froze it? We still got a little bit of that left, and it freezing it when it's fresh like that makes it taste like it's like fresh, even when it's frozen. And then I have the last little bit of those persnickety peas that Alyssa and I grew. If you weren't with us for that chat, these are fantastically delicious. I do not recommend growing your own peas. We had a great time doing it. I will keep this bag forever because Alyssa wrote her name, and these were the peas that Alyssa and I grew and harvested in 2022. That was ridiculously hard. That was a lot of plants, and that was a lot of work for not a lot of peas. But this is the last of the peas, so I'll be taking this soup, this already prepared potato soup. I'll be adding frozen corn that I didn't harvest the corn, but we processed the corn ourselves fresh. It was fresh frozen. The peas that Alyssa and I grew, and the potatoes. We'll be using some of these potatoes, or I'll be using some of these potatoes, and then I'm going to add bacon. So I have some bacon that I've already made here at KC Kitchen Center, and I'll be adding just a little bit of shredded Velveeta cheese to make like a stuffed baked potato, and it's ready. A stuffed baked potato soup, yeah. And Vicki says add chives or green onions. That's a fantastic idea. I think I will also do that. But I'll be making that. And so when it's chilly outside here, and Debbie says pea memories, exactly, yeah. That's about all the peas were good for, was making memories. I mean, they taste delicious, don't get me wrong, but man, that was a lot of work. Okay, so for the piece de resistance, the turkey kielbasa, I'm going to show it to you before look how pretty that is in there. So the turkey kielbasa with the leftover potatoes, with some peppers, with some little mini sweet peppers. And again, didn't do anything fancy to the peppers. I like them like this. If you want to clean them out, you certainly can. But this is for sure. Oh, I thought for sure that would wake Dusty up. Meat and potatoes, I thought for sure he would be woken up. Let's get some more of these potatoes on there. before I show you this. So quick and easy. I wasn't paying attention to this. Okay, this was cooking while we were talking. So quick and easy. Great way to use up some leftover potatoes. Look how pretty this is. I would say this will be my dinner for a couple of nights this week. But let's go ahead and try some of this. I have, because this is going to be so hot, I have a pepper that I blanched earlier in the air fryer just so that it won't be 8,000 degrees when I stick it in my mouth. Let me find a little piece of sausage, a little potato. Let me find a little bit of potato. And just try, because y'all know how much I like to try this for you. That sweet pepper is perfect. Perfect. No need to seed it. That's so good. Gonna have to cut the potato in half. Hold on. It's still just a little bit hot from where it was in the air fryer for a few minutes. Oh, it smells so good. Man, that smells good. So are you all drooling now? Is everybody ready for some dinner? If you haven't already had dinner yet, this is fantastically delicious. A little bit of turkey kielbasa. You could really use anything. And a sweet pepper. Leftover potatoes. Awesome, awesome. Ooh, Carol Lou says, now that's some Pittsburgh food. Why is this Pittsburgh food? Tell me, explain. I need to know. Perfection. Okay. I don't even want to finish the chat. I just want to stand here and eat all this. Wow, that is stinking good. Okay. So, 5 minutes to spare. Awesome job, Kelly. Awesome job bringing it home with 5 minutes to spare. I'm going to go ahead and start getting this cleaned up. I hope you all saw a great way to use some leftover potatoes. I hope you'll be thinking about, and Carol Lou says, known for their kielbasa and potatoes, although usually in the pierogi form. I would love to try and make pierogies sometime too. But I hope y'all found some great ideas. If you have some more ideas on how to use up leftover potatoes, give me a shout out. Go ahead and comment below. Here on Facebook, you can comment and we will all see it. Because like everyone here will see it. And I'm so serious when I say you all are a huge help to each other, a huge support group for each other when you go ahead and do that. And Katie's got some turkey kielbasa in the freezer. Yeah, awesome. So she's going to make that this week. Hoping that everybody can get down to a closer to zero, zero food waste situation. I'm still striving for that. I'm trying to use up a bunch of these things that we, that we harvested and froze this summer. But you all have a great week. Please let us know what you found. Oh, hold on. Sandra's dinner was that man's turkey tenderloin and stovetop stuffing. Sounds good. But if you were watching this on YouTube, just please go ahead and let that next video roll over. I promise you will enjoy it because it might be the September video. Don't really remember, but I promise you'll enjoy it. And if you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and click that little button down there. And yes, Debbie says, anybody in Southwestern Florida still praying for you all? Definitely, definitely. So if you are from Southwestern Florida, let us know because we would love to still keep you in our prayers. But anyway, let that next video roll over. Go ahead and click the subscribe button. And then if you will click that little bell, it will notify you when the next video comes out. I'm going to go ahead and eat a little bit of this for dinner tonight. Smelling fantastic. And I'm feeling good about having at least one meal this week under control. Just one. If you can't do all of them, do one. Because doing one is better than doing zero. Okay? That's going to be my motto for myself for this week. But y'all have a fantastic week. I'm so glad to be back. So glad that we all feel better and that you were here with us. But have a great week and I'll see you next time. Good night.